Welcome to Plowman's Backyard. I'm Kendra and today we are going to be making fresh pickles out of the garden. Now you can use any size of little pickling cucumber that you want, or even if you have a larger pickling cucumber or a English style cucumber, you can do them whole or you can cut them up. So whatever you have, let's get to using some of these fresh garden cucumbers in our pickles. All right, now first what we're going to do is we are going to make our brine, and we're going to get that started as well as start sterilizing our jars. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make dill pickles. Unfortunately, I don't have fresh dill at the moment. We're going to use dried dill. It won't be as strong, but it's all that I have, so we're going to use that anyways. So for the brine, what we're going to need is about 8 cups of water. And 8. So 8 cups of water. Then just some regular vinegar. Now for years I've tried to make this using lemon juice and I haven't been super successful at it. I have made them being refrigerator pickles and they turn out really well, and I have had them last a couple of months on the shelf, but they tend to go mushy with the lemon. So today I'm going to be doing vinegar, which seems to be foolproof. So that's what we're going to do. We want to preserve these cucumbers for the winter. And so we need to do what we have to do to be able to preserve them correctly. Now what we need is about 4 cups of vinegar. And 4. So the next thing that we need is coarse salt. You want it to say canning and pickling salt. You want it to be coarse. And what we're going to need for this is about 3/4 cup. Now it might seem like a lot, but this batch is going to do a lot of pickles. And the nice thing about this brine is you can put it right into the refrigerator. And if you only have enough cucumbers to make 1 or 2 jars, you only need to do pickles as you have them available. So it's a great way of only doing 1 or 2 jars at a time, and you're not spending all day canning your pickles. 3/4 cup. Right there in our brine. And now we're going to heat it all up, and once it's heated and boiled, it'll be ready to add to the jars. All right, now that we've got our jars ready, our cucumbers are all washed, and we've got make sure that everything we need for canning is sterilized. The next thing is I have went and got some of my fresh garlic from the garden, and if you haven't seen this video on how to grow the best and the biggest garlic, I'm going to leave a link in the description below. In the video it shows you how to plant your garlic as well as how to harvest the garlic. This is a great way to have a lot of your own supplies that you need for canning things such as pickles on hand. The other thing is I typically grow dill every year. My dill hasn't done well. It didn't actually grow at all this year. So I am reduced down to this because I can't get to the store at the moment. But we go through a lot of dill. So I have a big container of dill weed. That just means I'm just going to use a little bit extra of this. So if you have fresh dill, please use fresh dill. And what you want is you want some of the leaves, but you also want the sprig at the top where all of the seeds grow. Those really enhance the flavor of the dill in your dill pickle. The other thing is, in each jar of your pickles is you want to have about 3 to 4 cloves of garlic in 1 jar. You want about 2 to 3 sprigs of fresh dill. I'm probably going to put about a tablespoon, maybe more, depending on how it goes, of the dill from the store. The other thing that I have tried in the past is I picked up pickle crisp, and you may find this in your pickling area or your canning area of your grocery store or hardware store. I have used this in the past, and I will say I do not like it. I don't really understand the purpose of this. I'm not going to use it. I just thought I would show you. I had one on hand from a few years ago and I tried it. I will not be using it. I do not like it, and I find that the pickles are nice and crispy just as they are without it. So another thing you can add is alum. I don't have that on hand. I haven't used it in the past. I'm not going to use it this year either, but I found that I don't actually need it. The pickles are nice and crispy, and you typically want to eat your fresh canned pickles within anywhere from about 6 months to a year, because we're not pressure canning them. You're not water bath canning them. They're just sealing by themselves on the table or counter, so you don't want to use have them around too long. It's the best way. I have tried in the past water bath canning some pickles to see if I can get them to last longer, and they go completely mushy. Now we're going to go and we're going to pick the smallest cucumbers that we can, get them into this jar, and once we've used up all of our small cucumbers, we're going to go and we're going to chunk up the larger ones and put them in the bottles as well for canning. So let's get to adding these pickles, and I'll show you exactly what to do. It's super easy and it's delicious. All right, so the first thing we want to do is you want your pickles to be roughly about the same size. It's not always possible, but try your best. Now these are pickling cucumbers, so picking them early is a great way to ensure that you're going to have some nice little baby dills. I'm going to put about 3 garlic in the bottom. And we are going to just continue filling the jar with these beautiful, fresh baby cucumbers. They're just the perfect size. Next thing is we want to add about 2 to 3 more garlic. The next thing is you want, if you're doing fresh dill, you want to add a couple sprigs to the bottom and a couple sprigs to the top, but since I don't have fresh dill, I'm just going to add this to the top. It's a heaping tablespoon of dill. And the next thing is we want to add our hot brine. Now that we got our hot brine heated up, we're going to add it to the jars and add our heated lids for a good seal. Next thing you want to do is just clean off the top of your jars. You want to place our hot lids like this. And that is how easy it is to make pickles. Well, thank you for joining me on this easy tutorial on how to can fresh garlic dill pickles. As you can see, I have a lot left here to do, and I'm not going to keep you around for all of that work, but I did want to show you the process on how I can here at Plowman's Backyard, and I want to thank you for joining me once again, and we'll see you next time.